Good evening. I am here. I am Mavis Dawson, and I am going to discuss three books with you for my literacy and language presentation. The first book will be Bugs in My Hair. The second book will be Pete the Cat, Rocking in My School Shoes. And the final book will be Brown Bear, What Do You See? Um, Before I get started, I would just like to say that in all of my books, I encourage my students to try and make a real life connection with the stories that you read. That way, they would mean more to you and you would learn more from the author's lesson, whatever the lesson is that the author wants to teach you. So, whether or not that lesson or that connection is text to text, where you connect one book to another book that you have read, or text to self, where you can actually relate to whatever it is that the author is expressing in the book, whether it's the problem of the characters, or it may be a text to the world, where you can understand this text and how it applies to something that's going on to the world in the world as you know it. Um, so, my first book, Bugs in My Hair, is written by David Shannon, one of my favorite authors. He is also the illustrator, at least I think he is, because there is no illustrator listed here. And usually, when the illustrator is missing on the first page of or the front cover of fiction books, it's usually the author as well. So, David Shannon wrote this book to an intended audience of pre-K to third grade. However, the reading readiness level or ZPD level is fourth grade and up. So this book is written at the fourth grade level, and it actually has footnotes inside of it to help build vocabulary with the students. There are 32 beautiful illustrated pages in this book, and it talks about lice. That's what this story is about: lice and how it affects children when it gets lice, when the bugs get in their hair. Excuse me. The summary of this book and the way that it promotes literacy and language is by offering a um, diverse approach to teaching and learning about this subject. It is rich in vocabulary. It has captivating illustrations that I absolutely love, and the children are going to love them too. There is also a health literacy education component in this book because it teaches about personal hygiene. It also teaches about empathy. It introduces children to empathy at the fourth grade level, because children need to understand what other children are going through or other people are going through when they have this um, invasion going on in their hair. So I love this book because, again, it wraps children around the mind of having empathy and learning about health and hygiene. It is really, really a good book. It expands their vocabulary with the footnotes at the bottom of some of the pages, not all of them. But it's a great book that offers a deeper understanding to personal hygiene and what it means to have lice in your hair, or in your scalp, well, in your hair. So one of the activities that I would follow up with with this book would be Sid, and I was reminded of Sid the Science Kid because he loves to explore, and I would give my pre-K through second grade magnifying glasses, and they would go out and we would go out and they would find bugs, different kinds of bugs, and we would talk about whether or not it's an insect or an actual bug. Some of them would actually be looking for lice, and I would let them think they're going to find some even though they're not. But it's a great book that gets them engaged in the learning process about bugs in my hair and what it means to have lice in your hair. So my second book, Pete the Cat, rocking in my red shoes, or rocking in my school shoes. He is rocking in his red shoes, though. This is a great book. The author of this book is Eric Litwin. The illustrator is James Dean. He does a great job, as you can see from the front cover of the book. Bold colors, and it's featured throughout the book. There are 40 beautiful pages, illustrated pages throughout this book. And the first page would be with Pete on his way to school. So this is his first day of school and he's actually rocking in his red shoes, and he's going to school. And when he gets there, he discovers that there are other classrooms in the building that he will be visiting throughout the year, and that would be the library, the cafeteria, the art classroom, and the music classroom. So he gets to find out about these classrooms on his first day of school. The overall message in literacy and language that children learn is rhythm and rhyme, because a lot of times, or not throughout the book, he will be saying rocking in my red shoes, or rocking in my school shoes, not red shoes, but rocking in my school shoes. The visuals and the relatable text. Again, children can relate to this book because it is text to self. All of them have experienced their first day of school. All of them have gone to the library in their school for the first time, the music room, the art room, the cafeteria. So this is a great book to introduce children to that concept of text to self connections. Now, the activity that I would tie into this story would be a scavenger hunt around the school. So children would actually have a sheet of paper, and they would bring me the different things that I would have stored in the cafeteria in different locations, and it would be plastic fruit. They would find it, bring it to me, and I would hold it. But they would have to also find in the art room, I would have construction paper, or bring me a paintbrush, or something like that. And then in the music room, find an instrument, find anything out of the music room. It could be maracas, one maraca, or something like that. When they go to the library, of course, they're going to find this book. So I have many, many copies of it. So they would bring me a copy of this book, or any one of Pete the Cat books. So once they do, they would get a reward, and they absolutely love it. This is also a great book for a back to school night for parents. So when they enter the building, you can give them the scavenger hunt sheet, and off they go while they're going up and down the halls to their children's classrooms and passing the library and the cafeteria. Bring me the items, and they would get a prize before they leave the building, and they absolutely love it. So Pete the Cat is a great book for promoting language and literacy through rhythm and rhyme and colors, learning colors, and just the relatable theme of going and finding the library and the other resource rooms in school for the first time, back to school day. All right, so my final book is Brown Bear, Brown Bear, What Do You See? Great, great book here. The author of this book is Bill Martin Jr., and the illustrator is Mr. Eric Carle. So Brown Bear is a classic. It teaches children, believe it or not, and I absolutely love this, the first text feature of sequence order. So sequence order is a big thing, as you know, once they get to third grade and they're reading to learn, sequence order is there. So this is a great way to teach children about the different animals and colors and what animal was seen first. So this book is written, the intended audience is pre-K through third grade, and the reading readiness level is third grade plus. There are 40 beautiful pages, illustrated pages throughout this book, and they are all in sequence order. And the summary of Pete the Cat, which Pete the Cat of Brown Bear, What Do You See? The overall summary of this book is that it's an excellent way to teach children again about sequence order and repetition, because you hear Brown Bear, what do you see? Teaches children about rhyme. I see a red bird looking at me. So it teaches children those things. And of course, it helps to build their vocabulary. And of course, my favorite, it teaches the first text feature of sequence order. The activity that I would put with this book would be explaining to students how they can make their own animal collage. We would cut out pictures of animals, and they would choose a main animal, glue the animal pictures down on construction paper, and choose which animal will be the one that's looking at someone else. So it could be pink pig, what do you see? I see a snail looking at me, and then there's a picture of a snail. I also use sorting to promote differentiated learning instruction. We have circles on the board, which are different colors, and each circle matches one of the colors in the book of the animal that was seen, and the children would match that circle with that animal. For example, the red bird, there's a red circle on the board, and the child would take the picture of the red bird and place it on the red circle, and they would get high praises for all of their deeds and efforts. So it would be a yellow bird, place the yellow bird on the yellow circle, and so on and so forth. They absolutely love that too. So those are my books for this activity, for this lesson or assignment. I would encourage you to please go out and read this book, Bugs in My Hair. It is so funny. You're going to absolutely love it. And that ends my presentation. Thank you.